I believe that this is the first baseball-related Peanuts comic strip. I'm not sure if he knew it then or not, but Charles M. Schulz was carrying on a long tradition of baseball comic strips. If you go back to the great old days of 1908, you will find that there were baseball-related comics every single day in papers all across the United States, like the Chicago Tribune. Sadly, that tradition seems to have died off with the end of World War I. While the sporting news kept the tradition alive through the likes of Willard Mullen, it wasn't anything like it once was. Actually, the early 1950s were the golden era of the so-called serious comic strips, when most strips were of the soap opera variety and included all sorts of adult situations. Peanuts stood out for its relatively simple artwork and its emphasis on kids, making it a lot different from strips like Rex Morgan MD and Mary Worth. There you go, and so how's that for a little quick opening? So I'm going to try to do more and more of these. It takes a little bit of time to go through and find the old pages and get it all brought out, but we'll do a little bit of that. We'll take a look at some of the news stories that go along with some of those old strips, and we'll figure everything out like that. We've got a long way to go, and hopefully this will be something to make it so that we break up a little bit of the monotony. So anyway, without any further ado, let's go ahead and go on over. As usual, this isn't me actually playing the game. This is the demo, and I thought I was going to turn over there for a second and show us the main menu again, but it didn't. So I've got a plug in here. There we go. There's the plug. It should come up there on the bottom of the screen. There it is. And now we can get going. So, where are we right now? Well, we're to the point where we have all of the players except for two sort of on our team already. This is going to be Peppermint Patty. This is going to be Joe Schlabotnik. So I think what we might do next is we might change this and put in Peppermint Patty after we win whatever game we can win today. That's my guess. So that's kind of what we're going to do. We'll change this name here and put Woodstock in. This is going to look ugly for those of you who demand good spelling, but unfortunately we only have 6 characters, so we do the best that we can do. And yeah, we're going to probably go after this one next, which is going to be a little bit tricky, but that should help us out a little bit. Get rid of, I don't know what to call him, El Señor Pitcher B1. And go for the next person. Meanwhile, we're going to play another game, but we're likely going to end up losing this one. So we're going to play against BW, which is the Brave Warriors. Chances are that we are not going to be successful in this game, so I will let you know that ahead of time. It's been a while since I've played against this team. But we'll see what happens. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll have a little bit better luck than I was thinking. That definitely, though, is not going to do it. Come on, Lucy. So there's been a lot of discussion about, whether we should or should not play against other teams. I do have to remind everybody that if we end up losing games in the league, we don't get any money. And at this point, we kind of do still need to get some money to improve things and to get the team where we want it to be. I think that we're going to continue doing this at least through the point where we have everybody sort of on board. We're not going to play additional games forever, however. There you go. But we will continue to play additional games for a little while so that we can make sure that we sort of keep the storyline going along. That's the thing that I'm mostly concerned about. That would have been a ball. Somebody was telling me to back down, so let's go ahead and back down a little bit. And it works. So you get the base hit and we get the RBI. How about that? 1-0. Well, it didn't work there. Get a little bit over anxious. But that's another RBI base hit, and that'll put us up 2-0. Hey, maybe we'll have some good luck today. Even if we lose, though, I think I'll probably do another game just to see how badly we can beat the SNK Crushers. I'm kind of curious. Well, we just barely avoided being tagged out. So far so good. Now, I don't know what things are like where you are. Over here, the weather has taken a turn for the better. It's been pretty significant, actually. We had rain all last night. That's helped. We've been above freezing, but just a little bit above. The rain has helped get rid of a lot of the ice that we had, although we still can't park any cars in front of our house, so there's that concern. So, yeah, we're getting out of winter and starting sort of like pushing slowly towards spring, but we've still got a little ways to go. Let's see if we can get this drop. I can't remember what his drop rating is. You know, see, it doesn't have a good enough drop rating to get it to drop. People have been screaming at me for a while to throw more drop pitches in the comment section. But the problem is we have to get better drop ratings for some of these pitchers. They're just not quite good enough yet to do that. And we've got that sort of eternal struggle between, you know, okay, so do we bring better players on, or do we spend the money and try to take the gamble on improving, you know, some of these guys? If we don't have the drop, it's okay, because we can just throw stuff like that, and that'll get them. The other thing I don't know is what this team is, what the players in this team are named after. So if you happen to know, if you're up on your Baseball Stars lore, let me know. There you go. Now this one, of course, I haven't put the video out yet, but this is going to be the first video in this series to not have a Baseball Stars thumbnail. We're going to start doing Peanuts thumbnails. So I'm not sure how long that's going to last, because I'm not sure how many of them I can sort of put together. But we'll do this for at least for a little while. Remember, we have a 125 game season. We're going to do all of them one game at a time. Unless we start getting to the point where we're, you know, sort of dominating kind of later on, then we'll probably start hopping and do 2 at a time, just to make sure the videos are of a relatively reasonable length. Well, that was really close. If Lucy were a little bit faster, we would have runners on first and second. That would have been really nice. There we go, there's one up the middle. Alright, so this is not going to be quite as early as I was hoping for, but hopefully for most of you this is still going to be Baseball Stars for breakfast. So, you know, we'll try to keep it going so you can see this a little earlier in the morning. I know that's when everybody wants to see it. It's kind of funny, as the series has gone on, I think this is the third out, isn't it? As this series has gone on, it's increased actually in popularity on YouTube, which is a little bit unusual. Usually when you're having a like Let's Play type series, usually you start having a hard time with it once you get to a certain point. Like you get to the point where not a whole lot of people are watching, and you know, it's like episode like 60 something or whatever, and nobody wants to start with the series. This one has been a bit of an exception. We tend to have better view counts as this series has been going on, so I don't know, maybe word has gotten out somewhere, right? Maybe all the video game websites and stuff are talking about this one. Probably not, but you never know. Maybe we can get something like that to happen and get a little bit more attention here. Now, it's really a fun game, and it's been a really good series so far, and we have a long way to go. And we have a really good reputation. See, that's what's really happening. It's the magnetism of our team's reputation. That's what's been attracting viewers. People just feel this urgent need to, you know, tune in. We have to see what's going on next. See, I don't swing at everything. We can take pitches every now and then. Go, 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 go. Ah, she's not fast enough. Now, the problem that we're going to have pretty much with all of these teams is that, you know, we're pretty prone to giving up home runs, and that's going to be the issue that we're going to deal with for a while until we get the pitching up. It was kind of a conscious decision to increase the hitting first before the pitching. The other thing is, I think I mentioned this in yesterday's game, but somebody had said something about how what we really need to do, what we really should have done from the beginning is play 7-game series against every single team, and then do the main thing. And I think that later on when we played this game, we'll leave them in. Later on, will we play this game in Japanese, which we will do. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. Some other basic notes here. One of the things that you don't see, I think, is the viewer on YouTube, but that I see a lot of as a creator of stuff on YouTube, is that video game content tends to do very, very well on the platform to this day. There's a lot of sort of, long form content and stuff that you can do, but when you're talking in terms of like engagement and stuff that, really resonates in general with YouTube's audience, it's video game content that still does the best. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So I have another channel, which isn't much of a surprise to you guys. I have a channel that deals with sort of language study, and I've been considering doing some video game related content on there, mostly in hopes of trying to, get a little bit more engagement. I have like a video coming out once every week, but what you see when you look at it is you'll see like the graph and the charts go way down. Right, it's because people aren't so likely to necessarily watch your video like more than once or whatever. And so in hopes of like getting the channel to continue to grow, oh man, I thought we could steal an extra run there and it just didn't work. We were just a little bit too late. Anyway, one of the tricks in order to like get engagement up and to keep people interested in your channel is to, of course, come out with more content. One of the easiest ways to do that is to come out with video game content, which also just so happens to be something a lot of people want to watch. So I've been kind of toying around with the idea on that channel of doing video game meets language study type content. What I should toy around with more here is making sure the guy's at the bag before I throw it. Man, we're gonna feel pretty bad for not taking Charlie Brown out, because yeah, we have to have him out now. Yeah, this is not the situation we wanted to find ourselves in. Alright, well, we got lucky there. Man, if we could get out of this one without giving up any runs, it would be a miracle. You see, they're going after those boosts that you get for calling a pinch hitter, but we got out of it. How about that? Not too bad. Anyway, there you go. So there's a little bit of sort of YouTube theory according to me. But in reality, though people talk about like, oh, the Let's Play world is dead and stuff like that, it kind of is, but it's not if you can make a storyline out of it, right? That's the thing. You have to make a storyline, you have to think of a way to make it interesting and engaging. Ah, shoot, man, I would have been hit by that pitch too. You also have to be okay with yourself making stupid mistakes sometimes. All right. Ah. I'm not sort of certain that this team is harder than the team we played yesterday. The Japan Robins. I don't think that this team is necessarily better than they are. But that doesn't mean that this is easy or anything like that. No, we'll let him hit for himself. Anyway, as usual, we will have more content coming here on this channel. I am going to continue with the Diamond Mine Baseball replay and all of that stuff. The reason why I haven't done a lot of that recently is because I still need to sit down and make sure that I'm 100% prepared. Again, because the idea behind that... So one of the reasons why I kind of scrapped the idea of doing all the 1955 World Series replays is because I realized that I was having a hard time keeping myself engaged because I was just sort of playing like one-off games, and it's a little bit more interesting again if you can come up with sort of a storyline or come up with some sort of narrative or something like that. And so that's the reason why I thought let's go for this with this season. Let's do a little bit of research and the like. Plus, of course, it's always a lot more interesting if you know like the stories behind players and you can tell them and stuff like that. So. But the problem with that is that you have to do research into the players, into the histories and stuff like that. And that takes a little bit of time. Oh, that was pretty bad on my part. The cool thing about Baseball Stars is we kind of make these histories up as we go. And once again, I'm swinging at balls that are about to hit me. So, yeah. Fall, fall, fall. It's gonna fall, it's gonna fall. just not quite. Franklin has 2 home runs already. How about that in this season? Well, we're not going to hit any home runs swinging at that. This is the nerves and the anxiousness. But that should be a base hit. So he's been hitting pretty well. Speaking of storylines and getting to know the character of the players and stuff, Shermie's been hitting extremely well. I tell you, those pitches on the inside corner always just, baffle me. It's gonna be tough. Just think that one foul. I don't think that's gonna drop. It won't. Alright, so here we go. I think we'll just try that again. Let's see what happens. Actually, I probably should try. I can't remember what Spike's drop rating is. It's Marcy who has the good drop rating. Somebody was asking too about one of the earlier videos. The very, very early videos in this series, there are a couple that are channel members only, but I may change that here in the near future. I have to come up with a plan for doing that so it doesn't totally nerf the view count on YouTube videos, which is something that I've done before in other channels. Yeah, look for that coming up eventually if you really want to go all the way back and watch. There are some problems with some of those earlier videos though in terms of the way that I rendered them. I think I was trying to use H.265, which YouTube does not like. That's a good way to get you to have all sorts of bugs and things in your video, so anyway. But I may do that in the end to sort of give us a little bit of continuity. And speaking of which, I know I say this every game, but if you enjoy what you see on this channel, please consider becoming a YouTube member or, I don't know, checking me out on Patreon or something like that. Because it helps a lot, helps us keep this alive and keep things going so we can keep series like this going on for the long term. It certainly is popular, but AdSense money is actually really, really low, embarrassingly low. So anyway, speaking of embarrassingly bad, that was pretty bad there by Frida. Frida's actually a pretty good hitter, but she wasn't that time around. Does Spike still have a 9.99 ERA? I mean, how many runs did he give up before? Because he's been pitching pretty well here so far. So the reason why we lost a step or two there is because I was expecting to dive for that, which is the B button. But the B button, oh man, look how fast that guy is, jeez. The B button is also the button for going to third base, and so I was trying to dive over to the left, and instead I wound up running to third base as soon as I fielded the ball. Doesn't matter in the end. We would have had a double play too if there had been less than 2 out. Alright, here we go. Good job, Spike. The old mainstay, center field 1's going to come back in and take his hacks. Well, that's a real hack. You have to remember, we haven't improved this guy at all. This is how he came to us, so he's the same as he always was. Mint condition. Unchanged. Ah, jeez. You see, the problem with that pitch is that that's going to be called a strike, so Grover doesn't have a great ERA, but he's been mowing us down. I think they're going to take him out though this inning. I think that we've made him work a lot here. Yeah. Not much good luck there. Nope, bad luck again. Alright, let's see if Franklin can do something to help us out. Yeah, that'll help. Number 3 for Franklin. So he's turning into our big power hitter. 4-0, and so we're not quite to the point where we can breathe easily. Here is the pitching change. That's what I told you we were going to see. Benji. And we greet him right away with a really solid line drive single. We've been getting the base hits in this game. We had the bases loaded a couple times and we just couldn't push it through. Yeah, nothing we can do. Alright, let's see if Marcy can help us out here. If I were in the right place, we might have been able to catch that one. And here it comes. It's happening again. Oh, man. So yeah, this is what all of these games are going to be like, at least for the first little while. I should have thrown a drop pitch, huh? Alright. Just a little bit more. Would be nice to tack on another one. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not, though. We'll see what we can do. See if Benji is a little wild. Like I said before, one of the hard things about this game is getting to know the personalities of the different pitchers that you face. So some of these guys the computer loves to throw the ball like way outside. Some of these guys will come inside. Some of them will just throw it over the plate. Benji likes to go outside like that apparently, so something to keep an eye on. But once we get a couple more games in this longer season, that's when we'll be able to get a good feeling for who's who and what to do against each team. Oh, man. The other problem with this game is that there's no such thing as a check swing. If you swing at all, you swung. Alright, bottom of the 9th. Alright, there's one. Barely, man. I thought that she had a good drop pitch. She's thrown it before. That time she didn't quite make it happen, so okay. And we get it, and we did it. So we won the first game of this series. We won our first game against this team. We did a little bit better than yesterday, and maybe it means our team's a little bit better than I thought. Franklin with that third home run helped quite a bit. And that's a nice amount of money. So, what we're going to do here is probably what we shouldn't do. Before we play the next game, what we're going to do is we're going to get Peppermint Patty on this team. So, let's go ahead and do it. Okay. She's going to be an overhand pitcher. I don't know. We'll do left-handed, why not? You guys are gonna go nuts when I do this. But what we're gonna do first of all, with all of the money that we have, is we're going to give her prestige. And you know what? I shouldn't be doing it like this. I'm sorry. We have to do this. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to try to get it so that she can actually be a starting pitcher. We might as well. There we go. Alright, so now she looks a little bit better, right? We'll change her name. Alright, so that gives us a lot of prestige. We have a prestige of 15 for just about every player on the team except for this one. And that's the next one that we have on our radar. So I think what we want to do, because I'm really concerned about the pitching, I think what we're going to do is we're going to play another exhibition game, and we'll use the proceeds that we get mostly to focus on her to try to make sure that she's not a complete disaster when she takes her next start. And normally what I would do is I would play against the SNK Crushers again. We're going to do the Lovely Ladies just in hopes of getting a little bit more money. So this is our capitalist approach to baseball stars, right? We're in this for the money. That's the only thing we care about here. We don't care about doing things the proper way or anything like that. Let's just go get as much money as we possibly can. And we should get a better payday this time than we did last time we played them because we have much higher prestige. Well, I thought that hit him. Not quite. You have to move into that one to get it to hit him. That was a strike? Alright. There we go. So, you know, the trick with the Lovely Ladies when you're playing by yourself, if you want to cheat, is to just have them hit your batter every single time up, but they're almost doing that on their own. So, I don't know, maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe the computer's a little confused. Alright, so hopefully this will be a little bit faster now that our team is vastly improved. Man, I tell you, that was a crazy curveball. The funny thing is they would have called that a strike because they had enough of the plate at some point in time. There we go. Alright, so we got something out of that. It was a little bit ugly, but we got something out of it in the end. And we got a little bit more. There you go. So yeah, we really are to the point, I think, with this team where we can just dominate teams like the Lovely Ladies, right? It's not going to be very difficult for us to win big. All right. Well, that's not going to do it. All right, so we got 4 runs in the first inning. That's not too bad. Where is my fielder? I have no idea. All right, just good baseball stars things. So, in terms of what to expect on this channel next, in addition to all of our baseball stars fun, expect to see a video coming out this week about the baseball cards of 1983. That's the next one that we have on the list. Yeah, he doesn't have the drop quite yet. There's a whole bunch actually of scripted videos that I need to make today. We're a little bit behind. It's been kind of a long and crazy weekend, so which is the reason why I'm a little bit further behind on making scripted videos than I would like to be. So today should be a pretty busy day, but this is the right way to start the day, of course, because I know that so many of you rely on this to get you through the morning. It's President's Day too, at least here in the U.S. How did that not hit him? So many of you might not have work today. And if you don't have work, there's no better way to celebrate that than by watching some baseball stars for breakfast. That's the first time we've seen that one happen. See something new every single game. Alright, so we're cruising along. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Not quite. There will come a time where these players are able to knock those pitches out of the park, but we're not quite to that point yet. I was trying to dive for that, but it wouldn't let me. Oh well. The dive mechanic in this game is kind of weird. It like dives when it wants to, and otherwise it won't do anything, but whatever. It's kind of like bunting in the original Bases Loaded. Like, sometimes you'll be able to bunt, and sometimes you won't. Like, it depends on like whatever the game feels like doing. So, I think actually in Bases Loaded, bunting depends on the batter that you're using. So there's nothing in the manual, either in the US or Japanese version, that says like why bunting doesn't work sometimes, but it doesn't work like a whole bunch of the time for random reasons. All right, here we go. We got another rally, so let's go out there and win that money. That's not. Oh, that will do it. At least loads the bases. I think we're going to take Charlie Brown out here, and we're going to instead have Peppermint Patty come into a pitch. We'll hold on to center field one little. Shoot. We'll hold on to him a little bit longer, so we don't have 2 new players coming in today. Good. So she's showing up as like definitely the second best pitcher on the staff, but we do need to work on her to get her to throw a little bit better. She's got good stamina though, which is one of the big keys. Some of these names are odd. Taka? T-A-K-A? Like, I'm a little surprised that that's a girl's name, but whatever. Again, I probably need to be a little bit more familiar with the Japanese version of the game. Oh, nice play. Woohoo! Need to be probably a little bit more familiar with the Japanese version of the game to talk about some of these pitchers and where their names come from. But, you know, we have, like I said, we have all sorts of time on this channel. We'll get to that point eventually. We'll eventually figure out what's going on. We'll get to the point pretty soon here where we have full crowds for every single game, at least from our side, which is going to help us out a lot when we're finally good enough to beat some of like the really good teams in the game. Franklin holds up 2 fingers and then points towards left center field, and then he hits a ground ball. All sorts of drama here. Alright, let's see if we can get a home run this time around, and let's see if we can get a little bit bigger lead. Remember, when we would play Lovely Ladies before, we kept having these games where, like, we would have, you know, no hitting, no power at all for some strange reason. Hopefully this won't be one of those. Hey, here we go. That's a little bit more like it. But it's not quite enough. Oh, and there were, of course, less than 2 outs, so... There you go, that's what you get for being aggressive. I don't think she has a good drop pitch, but we'll find out. No, she doesn't. And we still have to work on that. We have to get her trained up. Should stay in the park. Just barely. Oh yeah, we still have some stuff to work on here, man. These breaking balls are not breaking the way we want them to. There we go. Stay in the park, baby. And oh man, that's a scary, scary thing. Alright, there we go. We barely made it out of that inning alive, but 4-0. We're doing okay. Let's see if we can get over to the 9th spot of the order so we can take her out and put in one of our relievers. But that's not going to do it. Man, I tell you, it's the craziest thing in the world. We're having a harder time hitting against the Lovely Ladies than we did against a much better team, so go figure. And it's going to be caught. Alright, well, a little bit more Peppermint Patty goodness. Jocelyn, alright, let's see what we can do with Jocelyn. We get the sure out on that one, but that was a pretty good bunt. I gave her all sorts of stamina, but it doesn't really do much. Ah, shoot, I misplayed that. See, that time I waited for the shortstop to get over there, so we end up getting out of it without giving up any runs. But boy, oh boy, that was not pretty. Alright, so we still have a lot of stuff to work on here. Alright, here we go. Put Snoopy in. We have a lot of other projects to work on as well. For example, we need to get Snoopy up to the point where he can be our starting shortstop. But we're probably going to need to get his defense up to like 15 or something for that to happen. So it's going to take a while. Yeah, that wasn't so good. Good job, Lucy. Alright, here we go. Not quite well hit enough for us to score a run, but that was good by Franklin. Let's see if Shermy can hit us a grand slam. Not quite, but that's good enough. That'll score a couple. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Now we got the big heavy hitters coming up. And it's our favorite. At least I swung at a strike. Alright. Rerun didn't pitch last game, so we'll give him a little bit of experience here. That's the one thing that Baseball Stars is missing. It would be nice if your players got experience points, you know, just for being used in the game. Something sort of like if you play the original, the NES version of Final Fantasy II, right? Which, of course, is a real confusing mechanic, but if you play that game, that might be sort of an idea, right? If you use the guy in battle, then he gets more experience. So here, if you use the player in the game, they get some experience or whatever. But it's alright. If the only way to improve them is to win, then we'll have to win. Here, come hit this. Just barely, but we got it. Alright, top of the 7th. 6-0, so not quite as dominant as we were hoping, but still pretty good. There we go. Of course, against the other teams we've been playing recently, that doesn't ever fall in. That's always a, ends up being a line out to the fielder. The thing about the Lovely Ladies is that their fielding is just really not that good. And it makes them pretty easy to play against. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I mean, maybe next time we do this, we focus first on, you know, defense above all else. I don't know, there's a lot of different potential approaches you can take to the game. Oh yeah, they call that fair. That's a bad call. Oh, we just barely got away with that. Oh man. It's one of those things that keeps you up at night. Alright. Now we'll put Schroeder back out there. We need to work on Schroeder as well. He needs to be our starting catcher. I keep saying this stuff and then I don't do it, but right now, of course, the focus is mostly on pitching and trying to get to the point where we can beat some of these teams and then we can worry about getting everybody where they're supposed to be. That was awful. Man, did you see that ball curve? It's crazy. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. There we go. There's the 10-0 lead. That's what we were looking for. It took us a little while to get there. it's kind of a risk putting Marcy in here, but I like the way that she's been pitching. I think she's going to be a good like closer for us one of these days. All right, there we go. Game over. All right, so another 10-0 win for us, and that means that we have a little bit more money to improve things. Home run by Pigpen, of course. 60,000 in attendance. $77,000 come in. So we won't spend it on one place. But we'll spend a lot of it here. We'll spend a lot of it in one place. How about that? I guess that's what we'll do here. Do that so far. Alright, so she's at 40,000, 40,000. I was talking about, like we need to improve his defense, but we don't have enough money to do that. Improve Woodstock. So we don't have enough, I think, to improve any of these pitchers anymore. Yeah, 5 and Woodstock are not really like the top of the priority list right now. I think what we're going to do is I think we're just going to sort of hold and wait a little bit. Yeah, so we have a little bit over 20,000 left. So again, the next thing we'll do is we'll get rid, unfortunately, of Centerfield 1, who's our old friend, and we'll bring on Joe Slobodnik. And then I'm thinking we'll probably focus, like I said, on getting defense up for players like Snoopy and Schroeder. Schroeder actually already has really good defense. We'll try to improve him again, though. So these two are at the 40,000 level, which is pretty good, although I really would like to improve her ability to throw curves. He needs some help, too. And then we'll also focus on improving probably these 3 pitchers. We'll probably end up doing that first, but first order of business tomorrow is going to be getting on Joe Slobodnik and getting us a team that is very, very prestigious. So we're getting there. We've got a really tough game coming up tomorrow, and then the day after we'll have a tough game as well. It's the day after, I believe, when we play American Dream, so that'll be an experience. That's probably where we're going to have our eyes really open to what's really going on here. Anyway, hopefully you appreciated that, and yeah, we'll have more of this coming up soon for you. Have a wonderful morning. Have a great day, and talk to you later.